Hi, it's Ralph and Lonnie, and we're back with another forecast, this time for June, can you believe it, of 2025. So take it away. We're up to the 15th through the 21st, and I'm sorry to say we had to give a Black Box Day to Father's Day. Now, you know, we would never do that on Mother's Day, so it might be a little bit reverse sexism there on my part, but I would feel remiss in not warning the dads and the moms that Father's Day could be fraught with squares. So it's a Mars square Uranus. Anything could happen. Watch out for hitting your head or a temper tantrum from anyone around you. Also, Jupiter square Saturn. So these are the two, you know, they're great when they help each other, but when they're square each other, they may not agree. Again, arguments could ensue or fisticuffs among the youngins or something. I mean,
so do it in a very chill way, in a very, very relaxed, very comfort zone way this year.
I say do it outside in a park where the young people can blow off a little steam without having it bounce back on the adults.
Okay. I'd keep it at home myself, but on the back
and that's
patio.
why there's chocolate and vanilla.
And this is exactly the conflict we're seeing on this day. You see, that's what we're describing in this.
Well, and the moon's in
forecast.
Aquarius, and that's kind of the marketplace and the. I'm thinking from a feng shui point of view, play it out in the energies that are there. It's not like you can control those energies necessarily, but you can play it out through the most positive manifestation of that energy without having it be internalized in you. So this was my thinking.
I think it's a great idea. On Monday, the 16th.
And that's why we're so good together.
Exactly.
He likes my ideas.
Yes, I do. The midway through the day, the moon is going to go into the sign of Pisces, aka the Dolphins. There's a nice sun trine moon. There's a Venus parallel Mars. There's a bunch of social aspects going on.
We want to see your face.
Okay. But it's a real nice, easygoing day, and that sun trine moon is always helpful. And this is the sun trine moon after the full. This tends to be a good time to move projects forward.
Be careful with that square Uranus and that opposition to Mars. That's the only reason he agreed to not let me, to my not letting him put a white circle on that
On
day.
the next day, Mars goes into Virgo, which means that at 1 degree Virgo, it's just passing over the star Regulus, the heart of the lion. I tend to notice whenever anything passes over that, it's just such a big, heartfelt energy. Mars in Virgo tends to be very organized, as we know. This is the original sign was actually called the goddess of the harvest. So it's all about precisely working your way through the fields and gathering the best fruit to make the best wine, essentially.
Well, and Mars in Leo is kind of self-directed.
Yes.
Its energies are about their own needs. One's own needs. But when you go into Virgo, it's like, what can I do for you or with you? Or, how can I make everything, nice and neat and tidy with a bow?
Yes. Well, I always thought that Mars and Leo was concerned with everyone else's needs, but they do it from the front. And then Mars Virgo comes along and says, we can make this work.
The cleanup crew.
We can make this work.
Okay.
And then on the Wednesday, you have the third quarter moon. You've got a bunch of social aspects. There's a sun square moon, of course, and then Jupiter square Neptune. This is kind of interesting. One of the things that is going on when Jupiter changed sign and Saturn is in Aries, it means Jupiter and Saturn, the two big players related to the economy, are square each other. Things like this can be challenging for the economy. So you may feel like the economy is feeling challenged.
Well, it's been beating us up lately anyway.
Yeah,
so,
exactly. So this is
a little more of that.
What's funny about this is that we forecasted this 18 months ago, that this period of time would be challenging for the economy. So it turned out we were right. Oh, sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad.
And then for Thursday, if it weren't for Juneteenth, there would not be anything on that day as well. Again, look to aspects that are lingering from the day before or warming up for the day after for the energy of that day.
And then, of course, the next day is the summer solstice. The sun goes into the sign of the crab, the longest days of the year. It actually goes for a couple of days before and a couple of days after. All the days are very, very long. And that kind of sun kind of hovers there. There's a sun also parallel Mercury. There's a bunch of nice social aspects going on. There's a square to Mercury from the moon, but probably that's from let's see, that's actually from like when it's in Aries, so early in the day. But generally a nice day.
And my kind of void of course moon, what is that, about 3 minutes?
Yes.
Yeah, I like that. Don't expect that to continue.
Yeah, and next in the 26 calendar, we actually put a little outline around the number.
We're going to talk about that next week too,
good.
when we're looking at those
We had a
gray
lot
boxes.
of discussion about that.
We did have that gray box.
Yes.
That was a new thing for 2025. We had to make some modifications about that, but we'll talk to you about that a little bit later.
And then on the 21st, the moon will be in the sign of the cow, aka Taurus. Mercury is parallel Jupiter. There's a nice conjunction between the moon and Venus. Always nice, always tasty. There is a square to Pluto. I don't think you're going to notice it very much. Generally speaking, it's actually a nice, though quite eventful week, especially early on in the week. And
did you say that Mercury parallel Jupiter?
Yes, I did.
Well, and I want to say again about these Mercury-Jupiter contacts. Mercury and Jupiter, we were talking before about how they have some things in common. And when you think about third house, ninth house, Mercury rules the third house, Jupiter rules the ninth house. They're both about travel. Jupiter is long distance travel, Mercury is short distance travel. And so they have that kind of communication between them as well. A lot of commonalities between. So whenever there's a contact, I think that the parallel is a little more powerful for a contact like that than it would be for another planetary parallel that didn't have as much in common.
It does depend upon who the players are.
Exactly. So that's it for June. Come see us on Planetary Calendar Astrology on YouTube. We might even be posting up some little surprise features there. And if you haven't subscribed, please do, and hit that bell so that you get notified of the surprises.
Exactly.
And if you didn't get your calendar for 2025, you can still order it at planetarycalendar.com. You might want to order the digital because that's instant gratification because you get that next day.
Yeah. And the 2026 is going to be ready pretty soon. So until next time, be well.